Hello and welcome back to Fire for Revival. Today we've got something a little bit special. We are going to be starting our first series. So this is going to be a group of multiple episodes, and we are going to be doing it on the Beatitudes. These can be found in Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 10, and we're going to do, I'm hoping for around 4 to 5 episodes, maybe be pushed out to about 8. It just depends on how these go and how long they take to do. Just because I can talk for a little bit on them, it just depends if I get on a rant and go for a long talk. We even have a song today, so I will be mentioning that afterwards. So if you stick around, you'll hear the song. If you leave early, no song for you. Sorry. But anyways, we're going to start with reading Matthew chapter 5, 1 through 10. Now, when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. We're going to start with the first one, obviously. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Now, on a note of these Beatitudes, all of them in general, Christ isn't saying that this is how you become a Christian. Never once in this sermon is that. These are all things that are going to become of us because we are Christians, that every Christian should do. So none of this is, oh, well, you do this and you'll become a Christian. None of these are how you become a Christian or become saved. These are all things that will be shown from you if you are living the Christian life the way you should be. So if you're doing everything correctly, if you're living totally for God, these will show in your life. It won't even be something that, I was going to say work on, but yeah, you're going to have to work on them. That was going to be some bad teaching right there. But you do have to work on them. It is hard because a lot of these things aren't easy to do. A lot of them are rather difficult and not even rather, they're very difficult to do. But we'll get into those a little bit later. These first ones are kind of easy isn't the right word, but these happen almost all the time if you are a true God-believing Christian because we understand our bankruptcy. And that'll make sense after I say it. So I'll just get started in there. So to be poor in spirit is talking about being spiritually bankrupt. And it's accepting that fact and accepting the fact that we are spiritually bankrupt. And it's not talking about poorness as in, oh, I've got a little bit of money, I can pay for rent, I can buy food, but I got nothing left after that. It's talking about you got nothing. You don't got no money for rent. You got no money for food. You've got nothing. 100% bankruptcy is what it's talking about. And it's recognizing that and being humble enough to admit that, you know what, I am spiritually bankrupt. Without God, I've got nothing. I am a wretched, horrible sinner, and I understand that fact. I am not a spiritual person. I should be, but without God, I've got nothing. And it's about being humble enough to accept that, which is when you get this beatitude, is that I realize I am completely bankrupt without God. And because of that, I understand that this beatitude is I am blessed because of my humbleness. In the days when Jesus taught this would have been taken a little bit differently than now. It's just as important now, but back then it would have been a really obvious note to the spiritual leaders. The spiritual leaders back then were the most spiritual people in their own heads. Even in the heads of others, they made sure that people knew that's a spiritual guy right there. Oh, Joe or Fred or whatever spiritual leader, they would pray on street corners, which was very intentional. Because if you're on a street corner, not only can the people from this direction see you, but the people from the other corner can see you as well. They wanted everybody who could see them be able to see them. And they would pray with really loud voices. They would just shout their prayers like, oh God, I thank you for whatever, or I am humble before you. And on the street corner saying that I am humble before you, not so much. Because street corner intentionally being out in the open. where we are supposed to be praying in secret, because God blesses those who pray in secret. And this being, blessed are the poor in spirit, is being humble before God and accepting the fact that we are spiritually bankrupt. And now for the second beatitude, blessed are those who mourn. This one is not talking about blessed are those who mourn the loss of a loved one or loss of a friend. It's not talking about being sad for somebody's death or somebody's leaving. This mourning is talking about blessed are those who mourn for their sins. It's accepting the fact that I am a wretched sinner and I am destroyed because of it. My soul aches, my heart burns because of how wretched of a sinner I am. Translated, it could mean happy are the unhappy. That's one way we could translate it, is happy are those who are unhappy and just mourning about their wretched sinfulness, knowing and understanding that this hurts God and it just eats you up from the inside. This Christian walk is not an easy cakewalk. The Christian walk is a fight. It is hard. And you're going to mess up. There's going to be times where you fail. There's going to be times where you sin. Just because you become a Christian doesn't instantly make you perfect. I'm a believer, so now I don't sin ever at all. I messed up my headphone. There we go. Anyways, but yeah, just because I'm a Christian doesn't instantly make me, oh, I'm so much better than everybody else or I'm perfect. No. Once you become a Christian, it gets harder. If you ask me, I believe it gets harder. Because then the devil's like, this guy's following God's word. I'm going to get him because I don't like that. And when we follow God's way, it gets hard. And we still mess up. We still sin. But God still forgives us. But these two beatitudes are very important because blessed are those who are poor in spirit and they are humble. They're accepting the fact that I'm spiritually bankrupt. It is only because of God that I can even worship him. And then blessed are those who mourn, who understand that their sin is a wretched curse and they are aching and burning because they are just understanding the weight of their sin and it just burns and aches them. I know for me that for a while when I sinned, I really could care less. Honestly, there's even days now where there's certain sins that when I do them, it's like, it's not a big deal, not whatever. But the older I get and the more I read the Bible and the closer and closer I get to understanding more and more of God's word, the more I realize how much our sin hurts God. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of my sins hurt my soul. Like, I'll still do them, but then afterwards, it's like a fire in your heart. And not in a good way, because I often talk about having a fire in your heart for the Lord. That's a good fire. This is more of like heartburn. It's a pain. It's just an ache that just cannot go away. There's things that you can do to maybe quench the heat a little bit, but just the ache and the pain just does not go away. And it causes you to mourn, just wishing and praying and just humbly coming before God and beating your chest like the one tax collector, just saying, I am sorry, I am wretched. And it is that mourning that is the blessed one. They are the ones who will be comforted because they understand that I am a wretched sinner. And God will comfort them because those are the ones who truly seek forgiveness. They're not the empty, oh God, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll be back in a couple days when I do it again. Those are the ones that are like, God, I am so sorry. It has hurt my soul. They may fall and stumble again, but be sure that they're the ones trying to get better. They're not the, oh God, sorry, whatever, bye. It's the, God, forgive me. I am destroyed because I have sinned against you. Please forgive me. It is that kind of mourning that this beatitude is talking about. Now, like I said, this one was a little bit shorter. These episodes are probably going to last around 10-15 minutes. They're not going to be as long as some of the other ones, but they're more of like a just quick listen to it and then get a quick little chunklet. Not many of these episodes are going to be super, super long. We're going to save like the hour-long episodes for the testimonies, which I actually have lined up. I've got, I believe, 2, if not 3 lined up to go, and those are going to be coming very soon. I might do one in between this series just to give me more time to study a bit deeper on these. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot of time to study these first ones as much as I would have liked. I would have liked to gone deeper, but I wanted to get one out before the end of the week, and I'm running out of time to do that. So these next ones, I'm going to like to have a bit more bit more research into and a bit more fleshed out. Like I said, I'm not proud that I didn't get as deep as I wanted, but it's going to work. Anyways, I believe that's the plan then, is we're going to do a testimony in between, maybe like episode 2 or maybe even the next one. It depends. We'll just figure out as it goes. Now, I've got the song, and the song that I want you guys to listen to is Forgiveness by Toby Mac. Talking about being humble in spirit and being just weeping before God about our sins. It can make you feel pretty down. I mean, I know that when I sin, I can feel horrible for like days. It might just be that I am really bad of a person like that and I let guilt eat me way more than it should. But there's days where it's like I am just so distraught. I have sinned. I've messed up. I am so sorry, God. How can I ever come back from you? This song, Forgiveness by Toby Mac, has hit me in ways that I can't even explain. It's a song about just telling you that, yeah, everybody makes mistakes. It's okay. You can get back up. God has forgiven you. It's time to get back up on your feet and keep fighting. Now, I can't play it here because copyright reasons, but I just recommend that after you're done listening to my very, very country weird voice, you go and listen to Toby Mac's awesome one about this amazing song. And maybe after a while I'll have a whole list of all the songs that I've done, and then you can make your own playlist of them all. But that's up to you. Either way, have a great rest of your night, and God bless you all.